Hello, welcome. My name is Amanda, and today I'm going to be teaching a short yoga sequence that's focused around our hip flexors. So we're going to be working with our breath and try to release any tension that we might be holding there if we have tight hips, which a lot of us do. So let's go to get started. All you'll need today is your yoga mat. If you have yoga blocks, feel free to use those and put those on the side. It's not necessary to have them for this flow, but they can certainly, add some comfort to your practice if you have them. You can also use blocks or books. Books is what I meant to say. So let's go ahead and get started. So take a seat, and you can either cross your legs in Sukhasana, easy pose, or come onto your knees and sit back on the heels for hero pose. We're going to start to set up our breath here. So sitting up nice and tall, take a breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. One more breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Last one, inhale. And on the out breath, let it go. Good. Start to come up onto your hands and knees and widen the legs. Shift your hips back into the heels. Chest comes down, forehead finds the mat for child's pose, Balasana. Reaching those arms long in front of you. Still setting up our breath and breathing deeply into the belly. Take a breath in, and on your next exhale, send that breath to your hips and your low back. A few more breaths like that. Nice. Now start to begin to bring the hands closer to the body, coming up onto the hands and knees. So instead of taking our traditional cat and cows, start to shift the hips forward to the left and center and to the back. So creating circular motions with the hips. So really just allowing the hips to stretch, maybe really shifting them from side to side. And just taking a few circles in one direction. Whichever one you choose is fine. Good. And then after you've done a few, go ahead and reverse the circle, shifting the hips forward and to the side and back, and repeating it a few more. Start to deeply breathe, connecting with your breath as we're shifting and moving throughout the hip space. Good. Start to find your tabletop. And then on your inhale, drop the belly down, extend through the back for our cat and cows. Inhale, exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly down, extend. And exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. And exhale, chin to chest. Nice. Start to return back to tabletop and tuck the toes. Shift the weight into downward facing dog. So just pedal out through the feet. Maybe even shift your hips from side to side. Feel free to widen the legs, just playing around with this downward dog. Take a huge bend in the knees here. Maybe try to elongate the legs longer. Aiming to press the heels towards the mat. And then bringing those feet together again. We're going to gaze towards our hands. Sweep the right leg up into the air for three-legged dog. And bend through the knee, open up through the hip. Imagine stacking that right hip almost on top of the left.
Take a few circular motions with the knee here, going one direction about 3 times. Just isolating that hip socket. And then reverse, going the opposite direction. Drawing in the core. Good. And then start to extend the right leg, square off the hips. Draw the right knee in towards the nose, placing the foot down, and then soften through the back knee, softening it down and untucking the left toes. Creating our low lunge, let's sweep the arms up to the sky. Inhale, and exhale, the hands come down to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale them down to heart center. You're welcome to place the hands on top of the right leg, or if you have blocks, placing them on either side of you, holding on to them, can add some nice extra support. So wherever you're at today, you can also place the hands onto the floor, onto the mat. So taking a few breaths here. Nice, and start to flex through that left foot, draw it in. And we're gonna reach the right fingertips up and back and try to grab hold of the left toes and draw the foot into the body. If we can't quite reach the toes, we can flex through that foot and then draw the left heel in actively. And that will also increase the stretch in our hip flexor. So with or without hands, draw that heel in. Take another couple breaths here. Really breathing into that hip space. Nice, and when you're ready, go ahead and release the toes softly down. Float the hand back down to the mat. And then we're gonna right away start to tuck the left toes, press into them, and step the right foot back for our downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out the feet here. Go ahead and widen the feet if you like, and shift the hips from side to side. Really just feeling into the hips. Maybe bend through the knees and then try to elongate them further towards, or to elongate the heels further to the mat. Good. Gaze to the hands. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, three-legged dog. Now bend through the knee, open that left hip up. And then take little circular movements with the knee in one direction about 3 times. 3 or 4. And then when you've completed one direction, reverse the circles, going in the opposite direction. Really just isolating this hip. Nice, and when you're done, start to square off the hips and elongate through that left leg. Inhale and exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose, placing the foot down. And go ahead and soften the right knee down, untucking the toes for our low lunge. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Inhale, draw that left hip back. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, elongate. Exhale them down to the heart space. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale them down. Nice. Start to place the hands down. And we're gonna start to bend through the right knee, flexing that heel towards the body. And you're welcome to sweep the left hand up and back, try to reach for the toes. And as always, you can Draw the right heel in actively, or maybe if you can grab onto the foot, draw it in manually. Taking a few breaths here. Nice. About one more deep breath, holding, stretching. And then go ahead and release the grip, allow the toes to float back down to the mat, and then place the left hand down. Tuck the right toes, step the left foot back for your downward facing dog. Nice. Now we'll begin to sweep the right leg up. Exhale, draw the right knee in, and place the right heel to left wrist and lower down softly. So right knee in line with the right wrist. We come to find our pigeon pose here. So blocks are nice if you'd like to use them to prop yourself up. And also if pigeon is a little too uncomfy for you, feel free to bend through your back leg, drawing it in line with the hip. This is actually deer pose now, so whether you want to take deer pose or pigeon pose is fine. And then start to melt forward if you can over that front leg. And if this comes to be a little too uncomfortable for you, feel free to come up out of it, readjusting, take a breath, reset, and then exhale, going back into the stretch a little further. If you're someone that is pretty comfy in this pose, feel free to take sleeping pigeon, allowing your chest to rest on the leg. And you also have an option to stack both fists on top of one another and place your forehead there for some support. Good. Start to place the hands back down, rolling over to one side and maybe coming up onto the knee. Plant the hands and step the right foot back for downward dog. And on your next inhale, sweep the left leg up. Exhale, draw the knee in, placing the right foot down in line with the right wrist. And then left knee in line with the left wrist. Find your pigeon, or you're welcome to bend through the back leg, drawing it in a little bit for deer pose. Coming down onto our elbows if you like, if you can, or using the blocks if you have them on either side. You're welcome to stack both fists again and rest the forehead on top. Taking a few nice breaths here. Nice. Start to place the hands back down and roll over to the left hip. Draw that leg underneath you, coming onto the left knee. Tuck the right toes and step that left foot back for downward facing dog. Bring those legs together and we'll take another sweeping motion of the right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, draw the right knee in. Place the foot down, coming down onto the left knee for our low lunge once more. Sweep the arms up, inhale, exhale, hold. Nice, inhale, and start to place those hands back down. Option to bring our right hand on the inside of the right foot and come down into our lizard. So this is a much more active, deeper stretch for this hip flexor. So maybe another option is to keep your hands on the ground, maybe taking a little bend, or you can just make your elbows meet the mat as well. Taking a couple breaths here, only going as far as you can. Good, and start to, wherever you're at, bring the hands back on the mat. Bend through the left knee and push the hips back. We're gonna rotate the hips to face the long edge of the mat for this gateway pose. So you can either stay upright for this pose, stretch, or sit the hips back towards the heel and reach the arms out long. So here we're opening up through this adductor muscle, this inner thigh area. Good, taking a few more breaths here. Nice. Now start to come up slightly in the hips and then turn the hips to the left to face the back edge of the mat. Plant your hands and then bring the knee up, plant the left hip down or left foot down. Nice. So we're on our low lunge once more, resting that right knee down. Now inhale, sweep the arms up for a low lunge. Exhale, fold the hands down, planting them on the mat. Tuck the right toes, step that left foot back for downward dog. On your inhale, sweep the left leg up. Exhale, draw the left knee in, placing the foot down, resting the right knee down as well. Sweep those arms up, inhale. And exhale, melt the hands down to the mat and place the left hand on the inside of the left foot for our lizard variation, or we can come down onto the elbows for a more intense posture. So really taking deep breaths here. And just softening into that hip flexor. One more breath. And then start to plant the hands coming up. Shift your hips back and then turn your hips to face the long edge of the mat. Coming onto the right knee now. Left leg is extended. You can stay upright here for this gateway stretch or shift the hips back to the heel and maybe even come down onto the elbows. Or you can extend those arms long. Breathe here. Nice, so start to plant the hands back. Bring the hips back up, turning to the right now. We're gonna face the top of the mat, coming onto the right knee. Plant the hands, lift the right knee, and step it back into downward dog. Nice. Now start to rise up on the toes. Exhale, dropping the knees softly down. And widen the knees, take our child's pose once more. Reach the fingertips long. Forehead finds the mat. Soften through that belly. Soften through that low back space, through the hips. And then if you're ready, start to bring the hands underneath you, coming up to a seated position, bringing our legs in front of us and crossing them for easy pose. Reach the arms up, inhale. And exhale, the hands come down through heart center. Namaste. Thanks for joining with me today, and let me know in the comments down below if this hip flexor series helped you.
Yoga is so great for releasing the hips and just giving them a nice good stretch. So today, I really hope all those different angles of these postures helped you. So let me know. I hope you subscribe for new videos every week, and have a great rest of your day.